Virtual performance of the national anthem.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
from Canandaigua Academy. We welcome you to the Class A semifinal as the Braves of Canandaigua, the 2 seed, undefeated, take on undefeated Spencerport, the Rangers, the 3 seed. Good evening, everyone. Gene Battaglia with you. Happy to be joined today by Steve Land as tonight, 2 teams undefeated semifinal. Steve, this should be a great matchup tonight.
It's going to be outstanding. By far the 2 most physical and disciplined football teams all season from beginning to end.
In the white jerseys with the navy pants, the navy helmets, and Canandaigua in the traditional silver and red. And we're glad you're with us here tonight on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Joel Barthaser, our director tonight. We hope you are going to enjoy tonight's broadcast. The winner of this game to take on East High in the final next week, and actually, the winner of this game actually gets to host also next Friday night. That's never happened before, or not in certainly recent years, that a team gets to host the championship game.
I'm sure Spencerport's excited right now that they're not kicking off to Canandaigua.
Canandaigua, what is it, 8 returns for touchdowns that they've had? It's certainly special teams indeed have been special, as Oliver Harview will kick this one away, and it's going to be returned by the Rangers up to the 15 to the 20, and getting across the 20 to the 25 goes Joe Marcello. Let's set the starting lineup here first for Spencerport, as Cameron Mesh, the sophomore, will be the quarterback. In the backfield, Jake Zimmerman, you will see him get some carries. Connor Mesh, his older brother, Cameron's older brother. Sam Goelli, the fullback. Khalees Beeman also will get some touches here. And the offensive line going from left to right, Jackson Burns, number 59. Nick Crawford is your left guard. Jason McKelly is a freshman, number 75. He's the center. Alexander Fitch, your right guard, and your right tackle, Andre Marianetti. And Steve, this, if you're new to watching Spencerport football, this must be a nightmare for opposing defenses to go against in practice, as the handoff is going to go for big yardage and a first down. Across the 40 and up to the 42 goes number 23, Connor Mesh. And away we go for Spencerport. That's going to be a gain of 22.
They're going to attack the ends. They were trying to establish their power run game right now, and now you're going to see them take the time, hold the ball. They love 10-minute possessions, and we're going to see what happens next.
Yeah, we see the players to watch tonight. Khalees Beelman, certainly a talented player on the outside, also runs spring track. Those seasons kind of crashing into one another, so track will have to wait for Spencerport, what he hopes, at least for another week. As once again, this will be Cameron Mesh. We'll define the 2 Mesh brothers. As the handoff will go to Beeman, and Beeman getting to the outside, and a touchdown-saving tackle will be made on the outside by Elliott Morgan, number 8, but not before another first down.
They're feeling out the off-tackle game right now, right? They've softened up the right side. Now they're going to take a look at the left, see what matchups they like, and now they're going to have their full menu of compliments to go with it. Let's
give you the starting defensive lineup, as some of the names we'll be calling for Canandaigua tonight on that defensive line. Nick Herbst, number 70, Dan Coffey, Cody Akey, nose guard, Sam Bennett, number 66, and Zach Dreisbach, number 72. Sam Bennett is one of the corners on the outside, along with Ryan Gavitt, Brady Camella, Eric Platten, we just mentioned Elliott Morgan, and Jackson Neiman is a safety. 1st and 10 is Spencerport moving it in, and ahead that they will go. Steve, I want to get your opinion. You've coached against this team. How difficult is it to prepare for an offense, a style you don't ever see?
It's not even about knowing what they want to run. It's impossible to simulate. Unless you run this style of offense, there's just no way for your scout team to do it at the speed and precision at which Spencerport does.
Head coach Jeff Welch of Canandaigua, speaking with him this week by phone, and he felt very confident knowing that this is not the first time his veterans on this team have seen this. How will we define it? Double wing offense, yeah. As Mesh will be under center. Mesh giving the handoff, and getting leveled, almost pancaked, was Jake Zimmerman, number 12. This is going to bring up 3rd down and 5 from the 40.
And this is the tricky spot, right? 3rd down and 5 is where, if you're a defense, you feel pretty good right now with Spencerport, but we're going to take a look at, are they going to come back with play action pass? Do they want to come back over here to the left side where they had success earlier?
Spencerport huddling up. This is the opening drive if you're just logging on. Glad you're with us here tonight as Spencerport. Well, when they throw, it's going to be something special, I'm telling you. See if they keep it down on the ground, Steve, and see if this indeed would be 4-down territory. Cameron Mesh under center, and he will hand it off, and those legs are moving. Connor Mesh to the 20, the 15, 10, 5, bank it! Touchdown! Touchdown, Spencerport! Connor Mesh! Mesh handing it off to Mesh, and just like that, Spencerport goes ahead 6-0.
Spencerport's got to be happy. They got a lot of movement on that right side. They've hit that a couple times now, and now they feel like they got some answers and some matchups they like against Canandaigua. Now the trick in here is you can't take a breath. Canandaigua, now you got to kick off to them, and what could happen on that return?
The extra point coming up, as it'll be Zimmerman to kick through the uprights. Now, most teams in Section 5 this year have had the luxury of having a soccer player come over, but Jake Zimmerman, he's always been involved in soccer, always been involved in football. It's just natural for him. As the extra point attempt, kicking to the end zone to our left, Zimmerman has the distance, and it is good.
It will be interesting to see how Canandaigua responds. I think this is the first time they've really been driven on like this. There it is right there, attacking the right side. Look at the movement and the push that they're getting, and then he's gone.
Great speed for Connor Mesh. 40 yards on that touchdown.
It's tricky. You know, Canandaigua was a base 3 front. They usually play with 3 down linemen, and they haven't really shown more than that. By the nature of this matchup against this style of offense, it's forcing them to put 5 guys down. Maybe guys that are more rotational guys, but not necessarily full-time starters. So again, it's forcing a defense to do something differently than it normally does.
That drive going only 2 minutes, 52 seconds. And now Zimmerman to kick off. And as you mentioned, Canandaigua, what is it, 8 returns between punts and kickoffs?
Oh, I know it all too well. It is amazing. I think that the biggest thing to say about their return team is every single guy is fighting until the echo of the whistle. They take this so seriously. They win every matchup in the block. They even set it up where they peel a guy back to make sure that if it does break through, they have a kicker accounted for so that it can break. I mean, it's really impressive what they do.
So Zimmerman to boot this away. No, they're going to play conservatively. A high bouncing ball. And, Steve, maybe that's not such a bad thing at all, just to sacrifice the 10 yards maybe.
Absolutely. I think that's the smart play. I'd be shocked if they try to kick it deep at all tonight.
Set the Canandaigua starting offense tonight. And Brian Bolden, 9 touchdowns against 1 interception on the season. He wears number 10. They'll be handing off to Dom Camella, sometimes Brady Camella also in the back. Tight end Eric Platten wears number 4. Sam Bennett, receiver to watch, he wears number 2. Jackson Grant, number 7. Elliot Morgan, number 8. As we'll set the offensive line for Canandaigua after this 1st and 10 play from their own 38. Jeff Welsh, the head coach, signaling things in. Longtime head coach here at Canandaigua. And the handoff going right to the run, and Canandaigua can run too. Tackle for Spencerport by Sam Guelli, and a nice gain on 1st down. As we look at those players to watch, Steve, Sam Bennett going to play lacrosse at RIT.
That's one thing Canandaigua always has. It has those lacrosse guys that play football, those athletes they like to put out in space. Sam Bennett is going to be a threat on jet sweeps, bubble screens.
2nd down, and we'll call it 3 with the ball resting on the 45. I promise we'll get to those Canandaigua offensive linemen. We certainly want to give them their due. As now the handoff will go back inside, and that's going to be a 1st down and more, as rumbling ahead will be Dom Camella. Camella on the season, 454 yards in just the 5 games. Those starting offensive linemen for Canandaigua. At left tackle, Cody Akey, who will be going to Cortland. James Del Forte is the left guard. Zach Dreisbach will be playing at the next level, as well as Dan Coffey, number 70, and Nick Herbst, the right tackle, wearing number 62, as he will be going to SUNY Brockport. 1st and 10 at the Spencerport for 43 as Canandaigua on the move here. Down 7-0 here. We are in the first. The handoff going back to Camella, and Camella protecting that football. And he will be tackled by 44, Jake Lindenmuth. And after about a gain of 2, down to about the 41.
Spencerport likes to bring a lot of that zero pressures, slanting the line a lot. Looks like Canandaigua's kind of found an area where they want to attack, and it's going to be interesting to see if that forces Spencerport to back off a little bit.
Canandaigua will go 4 wide here on 2nd down and 8. They pause as the play will be signaled in. Camella in the backfield alongside the quarterback, Boldrin. Boldrin, of course, a threat to take off as well. Man going into motion. It'll be Jackson Grant. Jackson Grant gets around the corner. 1st down as he's knocked out of bounds near the 30-yard line. They will mark him out right at the marker. That'll be a gain of 8 and a Canandaigua 1st down.
Yeah, it looked like they were late rotating over to the left side defensively on Spencerport. They saw kind of an area in a bubble to attack, and they just went at it with the jet sweep and outflanked them to the outside.
They're actually going to call for the measurement here, and they don't have to go very far. It's right there. So. Indeed, 1st down for the Braves. While we have a minute, let's congratulate East High defeating Irondequoit 26-0 today. Steve, are you surprised at all at that result?
You know, I think in this year you got to throw those seeds out. Everybody who makes it as a top 4 in Class A is worthy of being there and can win at any given day.
No doubt about it. Congratulations to Steve Flagler and James Van, the 2 co-head coaches of the East Eagles. Drive continuing for Canandaigua. The 1st and 10 now down to the Spencerport 33. Another end around coming. And this time this will be Bennett as Bennett gets it down to, well, maybe just the original line of scrimmages. Everybody maintaining their gaps there. Andre Marionetti, one of the best defensive players on the Spencerport team, helping to string that play out.
He is a tough guy to move, extremely strong, beast in the weight room. They like to put him at the point of attack. So Coach Burns, the defensive coordinator at Spencerport, will move him around to try to attack where they think they're going to go.
He's right now in that defensive tackle position, number 54, Marionetti. They'll give him 1 on that last play for Bennett. 2nd down and 9. Here's going to be the quick screen, left side, going to Grant. Grant trying to get around a man, breaks a tackle, but then the help comes over. Jackson Grant not much work to go there, as that will go for a loss.
Incredible swarm right there. Marionetti, again, he peeled off from the defensive line spot to get out there. I think Canandaigua saw a bubble they wanted to go to, but they blew up the block from the slot receiver and were able to cage it.
3rd down and 13. As we have 5:40 remaining here in this first. As Boulder now will pause and get the call in from the sideline. Planton, the receiver to the near boundary, number 4. Here will be the snap, pump fake, Boldrin going for long. It's going to be picked off. Intercepted by Cameron Mesh. Mesh gets knocked out of bounds, and Spencerport with a big takeaway. Only the 2nd interception of the season for Brian Boldrin.
You saw Mesh floating over there. Again, Spencerport traditionally likes to play a lot of cover 0 man coverage with no safety help, but Mesh was sitting there kind of waiting to see if it was going to come back over there, and it indeed did.
You could see what Boldrin was thinking. I've got Bennett there in single coverage, but actually, no. It's just a great play by Mesh to suck him in on that. Is now Spencerport taking over on their own 32-yard line with 5:17 remaining here. 7-0 Rangers. Crazy stat here if you're not familiar with Spencerport football. Last season, first time ever, Spencerport won a sectional football game. So talk about a program on the rise. And I tell that to people, and they're like, no, that can't be true. And like, yeah, it is true, but Spencerport has never been to a sectional final. As the handoff will go to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman meets a wall of red and silver, loss on the play.
And this is what you want, right? You win first down, get Spencerport a little bit behind the sticks, and with their style of offense, this is kind of the thing you want to see if they get them off schedule, try to get them in 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and then because they're not such a downfield passing team, it gets you in a defensive favorable position.
So that will go for a loss of 1 on the play. Out of the double wing, Cameron Mesh, and he's got Beeman right alongside him, number 1. Beeman will help lead the blocking. However, Canandaigua able to sniff it out. Brady Camella coming in to wrap him up. Gain of 1. Now it's 3rd and long.
And exactly right now, this is the trick, right? So what's the answer? Is it going to be a screen? Are they going to just try to jam it up and then try to punt and play field position? This is where Canandaigua's gotten them exactly where they want them.
Cameron Mesh running over to the sideline to get the call from head coach John Dowd of Spencerport as the play clock is at 19. Opportunity for the Braves to get off the field on 3rd down and 10. Beeman will be on the right side of this formation. Mesh, the handoff to his brother Connor Mesh. Connor Mesh keeping those legs moving, but the second effort he will be cut down as Elliot Morgan, the safety, with the tackle, bringing up 4th down and maybe 2 on their own 41-yard line. Well, they're going to call it 4th and 1.
And looks like they're going to go.
See, it's easier to be up here, Steve. You can second guess, you can everything, but this is what the book would tell you these days, to go for it on 4th and 1.
And I think momentum plays a big key. You get this. I mean, again, high school football, I think momentum plays a bigger role than at any other level.
So Spencerport's going to go for it. 4th and 1 at their own 41-yard line. Play clock is down to 5. Cameron Mesh, sophomore quarterback, takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself as Mesh gets the first down, and that pile will move forward up to the 47. And that will go for a gain of 6. And it pays off. The drive continuing for the Rangers.
Absolutely. Earlier you were mentioning their first sectional win last year. I think the biggest difference is now they play complementary defense to this style of offense. It's such a unique offense to prepare for with Spencerport every year. Now they have a complementary defense that is unique, and I think it just suits them so well.
So the Mesh brothers, and they do have a sister that's a freshman at Spencerport, so certainly that is a familiar name in that school district. Here will be the snap and the throw. No! Cameron Mesh gets sacked as the blitz comes through. That's Eric Platten with the sack. Big play for the Canandaigua defense.
They got that first down. They thought they were going to take a shot. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them, but again, they were behind the sticks the last time, and they were able to gain it back, so you never know what's going to happen now.
Tough play there as Sam Gowelli not able to pick up the block there as the ball goes all the way back now to the 41. 2nd down and 17 is time running on here. This is when you play Spencerport and you're keeping the ball on the ground. I'm looking up and like, wow, we're nearing the end of the first quarter.
This is exactly how they like it when they have a lead. Hang on to the ball as long as possible.
2nd and long. And for Spencerport, that doesn't mean pass here necessarily. Now whistle, and the play clock was at 0. Or did they give them the timeout? No. That's a delay of game, so a mistake there for Spencerport. That's our first penalty of the evening. Goes against the Rangers. And you hear some of the drum beats in the background. Yes, there are members of the Canandaigua band here this evening, as now another flag will come down right from the near sideline. And there's a second flag, so I don't know if these are 2 different penalties. The handoff went to Connor Mesh on that. And this will be against Spencerport.
This this is definitely what they call behind the sticks at this point.
So the penalty, the holding will be enforced. Jeff Welch electing to push him back here a little bit of field position. This is now crazy down a distance. Got to do the math here in my head. Is it the ball at the 24? You have to get to the Canandaigua 42. 34 would be the down and distance, the yardage here. Second down and 34.
Not a lot on the play sheet for this kind of situation.
Yeah, just maybe set yourself up here for a better punt maybe at some point as Cameron Mesh keeps in. Nope, he does hand off. That's the first time I got caught on that this evening. At least Beeman getting the handoff on the end around, and that goes for no gain. Now you're beginning to sense that maybe Canandaigua is starting to get dialed in here a little.
Their defensive ends have adjusted. I think they've kind of figured it out at that point right there. You saw it. He didn't make the tackle, but at the point of attack, number 72 blew up that whole thing, forced the running back to have to stop and redirect, and once you do that to them, it gives you enough time for the backers to swarm. 72,
Zach Dreisbach. And Dreisbach, he's making his decision between St. John Fisher College and John Carroll. I'm a little biased, I would say Fisher. Here will be the third down play coming up as now the handoff. That'll go inside, and Canandaigua is going to stop the drive for Spencerport as Beeman gets it up to about the 30 for a gain of 6. And this may very well bring us to the end of the quarter, and indeed, Spencerport walking off the field. Spencerport getting a 40-yard touchdown run from Connor Mesh, our score in the first quarter. Spencerport 7, Canandaigua nothing. We head to the second on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We want to thank everyone for doing their part in these challenging times.
No matter where we work from, we're still here protecting you and your family's rights.
We want you to know that we will always be here for you and your family.
Using our technology so we can protect you and your family no matter where we are.
For your free consultation, call or text 262-COMP today.
Your workers' comp attorneys.
Yeah, when you play Spencerport, you better be here logging on time here, Steve. What, 18 minutes of real time? That was it for the first quarter.
And it's maddening for the other team, too, because it gets you in that mode where the clock is running and you feel like every possession you've got to do so much more than you normally would.
Now the dangerous return game, and we're going to say that all evening for Canandaigua because it is true. And we realize people are logging on and off a lot during the broadcast as Zimmerman will get a nice end-over-end kick, and this will be returned on the far side.
Oh,
getting some space. Jackson Grant breaking a tackle, and he gets it to the 44. So good return for Canandaigua as they'll begin this drive in Spencerport territory.
Now let's see if they've settled down Canandaigua a little bit. You saw they settled down defensively, and I think offensively maybe now they've kind of felt out where the blitzes are coming from and see if they can figure out where to attack.
Good block. Couple of nice blocks in there. Getting it to the 44. Ryan Boldrin, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. 2 men in the backfield. Bennett will be the receiver to the near boundary. He's going to be guarded by Beeman. And the handoff is going to go in between the tackles to Dom Camella, keeping those legs moving. A gain of 10 and a Braves first down.
They ran that ISO lead right up the middle. Spencerport bringing blitz pressure on the edges, so they're going to jam it up in the inside with an extra blocker.
Canandaigua getting it now to the 34. Boldrin and the Braves will look back at the sideline. The snap and the handoff once again going left side as Camella taking a man with him Bringing him down from behind was Cameron Mesh, number 22. Not before he gets down, though, to about the 28. A nice gain of about 6 to bring up second down and 4. Bennett now lining up in the slot to the right on 2nd and 4. Canandaigua picking up the pace a little bit. No, now they'll look back at the sideline and pause. Still plenty of time on the play clock. 17 the clock at. Brady Camella will serve as the fullback for his brother, as here will be the handoff to Dominic Camella. Camella following his brother on that block. Just some power running there, down to the 21. Another Braves first down.
Their offensive line does such a nice job. Even if you want to bring blitz pressure on them, they get a wash. Down blocking, they pull that tackle on the tackle wrap to the front side, and there you go.
Jackson Grant, the receiver, to the far boundary for the Braves. 1st and 10 to the Spencerport 21. Boldrin, another handoff to Dominic Camella, and Camella again getting a healthy gain across the 20 and down to the 17. A gain of 4 to bring up 2nd and 6.
I expect them to stick with this a little bit, right? Last time they got in this same similar area and they kind of took a shot and that didn't work out for them. But right now it feels like they're on schedule running the football.
Eric Planton is the tight end. He is lined up on the left side of the line of scrimmage wearing number 4 on 2nd down and 6. The snap, Camella will get the call again. Following the blocking on the left side of that line. And he gets it down to 11 for another first down.
They got it going. They're running that gap scheme offense. They ran counter back to the left side, got the wash by the front side blockers, be able to pull the backside extra blockers to the front, and they're back on schedule.
1st and 10 from the 11. Boldrin out of the shotgun, and now Canandaigua pausing, looking back at the sideline.
Looks like Spencerport wants to bring pressure from the outsides or maybe attack inside right now.
As there's the attack on the inside. You called it there, as the tackle made by 32, Joe Marcello. Is this a defense that likes to blitz a lot, would you say, Steve?
A ton, and it presents a lot of unique looks that other teams don't give you. Coach Joe Burns likes to bring pressures from all over the place, slants the D-line more than any other team, and it's tough to block.
Bennett in the slot to the right. No receiver on the near side, just the tight end. That being number 4. Eric Platten. Here will be the handoff once again to Camella. And Camella will be tackled from behind as that'll be 23 again. Connor Mesh. No gain on the play. Now it's 3rd down. 3rd and call it 8. Canandaigua can get a first down without getting the touchdown if they get it to about the 1.
Boldrin booted out on the last one and no one paid attention to him, so I wonder if they want to take a look at the keep or a play action pass off of this run now.
Well, right now, to the right side, as they're going to roll to the right. Boldrin looking to throw, trying to buy some time. Now he's going to cut it up, and he will be knocked short of the first down. And again, that'll be Cameron Mesh kind of crashing down, making that play, and to bring up 4th down. And if you're Jeff Welsh, they have a kicker, but do you take the 3? Or
looks like they're bringing somebody out. So you definitely want to come away with points at this point. You don't want to come out and have nothing and then have Spencerport sit on the football for 10 more minutes.
This will be Oliver Harvian 2 for 3 on the season on field goals. With the ball spotted at the 13, a 23-yard attempt. Harvian, the kick is up, and that's good. So Harvian with the field goal, and Canandaigua gets on the board.
If you're Canandaigua and you feel like those last couple defensive possessions, you feel like you've got an answer for Spencerport, you feel like you can slow them down a little bit, you come away with points now, try to get another stop, set your offense up to take the lead. I think that's a great decision to go for that kick.
And it was the Canandaigua defense, really, that started the whole thing, because Spencerport was moving, and a few penalties by Spencerport, too, that kind of derailed that last drive.
That definitely helped Canandaigua with the momentum. Now it would be interesting, as Coach Dowd, settle them down, because when they weren't having the penalties, they were moving the football. They had that one play, it was 3rd and long. They were able to pick up to get to 4th and 1 and be able to convert. and it was really penalties that did them in. So if they can clean that up, if you're Coach Dowd, you got to feel good about your ability to move the football.
So Spencerport to return. Joel Marcello is deep back, and along with Connor Mesh. Long end over end kick that Marcello will take at the 21 to the 25. 30, upended at about the 33. On the tackle, Jackson Grant, number 7. And Spencerport going back to work on offense.
Marcello brings it up to the 32-yard line, and next by number 43, Cameron Solomon, and number 7, Jackson.
Spencerport was able to get some decent yards when they just ran that fullback dive on that belly play. They haven't come back to it. They've been running a lot of their off-tackle stuff. It'd be interesting to see if they come back to that and see if that inside is in a matchup they want to take advantage of.
Goelli being the fullback, Beeman is lined up to the near side. Wearing the yellow cleats, you can spot him, and Beeman, now Beeman will hand off, and that'll go for a first down. That'll be Zimmerman. What is that, a handoff to a handoff? How would you describe that?
It's that inside reverse, that counter reverse that they run. Again, it's so hard. You defensively, the one time you peek in the backfield, you're going to be wrong. You have to stay disciplined and read your keys, or they're going to hit you on things like that.
Gain up to the 46 on the game by Zimmerman, and another Spencerport first down. The keeper. No, I lost. Was that Beeman?
Yeah,
it
Beeman,
was Beeman.
Yep.
Okay.
They pulled the backside line to the left, and Beeman just followed right along. They got good movement on the front, and there you go, second and medium.
Yeah, Beeman with a gain of 5. Khalees Beeman on the season, 480 yards of rushing, 5 touchdowns. Second and 5. Cameron Mesh under center, and Mesh handing it off to his brother, Connor, plowing ahead to about the 45, bringing up 3rd down and 1.
Yep, running that wedge play again, like I saw earlier on their first drive. Every time they've gone to it, they've gotten good yards, so expect to see that again.
Gwelly will come in as the fullback. Boy, you wouldn't know we have limited capacity here tonight at Brave Stadium. It feels great, a great atmosphere here.
This town is passionate for football. There's no question about that.
Certainly a great setup, and everybody's so hospitable in Canandaigua. We appreciate coming down here. Flags everywhere. I'm assuming this is against Spencerport. Indeed it is. That's a big penalty, Steve.
The speed at which they like to pull and move and attack, they do have that tendency to jump a little bit early, and it all depends on how close the officials are going to call that. There's certainly opportunities for them to do it, and right now there they did.
Ball right on that Canandaigua Academy logo at the 50-yard line.
If you're Coach Dowd, it's honestly probably 2-down territory here. You're not necessarily trying to get the first, but you're trying to get 4th and manageable to go for it.
We're under 5 minutes to go here before halftime. Play clock now down to 5. Connor Mesh. And the handoff inside, and that does not go for much. Beeman, maybe for 1. Now it's 4th down. And now here's the opportunity for Canandaigua's defense. Come up with a big play. You get the ball back down by 4 at midfield.
And you got to punt to them. I mean, that's the other thing. This isn't just, it's not just, okay, we're going to punt and flip the field. You don't know how this ball's going to get returned either.
Okay, they are going to punt. You're correct on that. As Zimmerman is going to punt this away, and it will be Jackson Grant, number 7, standing heels on the 20. Zimmerman Gets a low kick away, but he angles this perfectly, and it goes out of bounds. That's a beautiful punt, and they'll mark it out of bounds at the 10-yard line, a 39-yard net for Zimmerman on the punt for Spencerport.
That could not have worked out any better for them, and now it's pushing Canandaigua back. We'll see how they come and respond to this. Again, when you play a team like Spencerport, even though 4 minutes is plenty of time, it gets you in that kind of antsy feel where you're worried about them possessing the ball.
Tomorrow, the Class AA matchups we'll have for you live on the Varsity Media Sports Network. McQuaid, Pittsford at 4. Before that, Victor Hilton at 2 o'clock. You can have 2 devices going at once and jockey between the two as we'll be with you. As now the handoff,
wow.
Big gain here for the Canandaigua Braves on first down, getting it all the way up to the 38-yard line. That is a gain of 28 yards for Dom Camella.
And that's how this offense has been all year. They have the ability for big plays, not just from Camella, but from Grant. I mean, guys all over the field that can all of a sudden break one big.
Elliot Morgan splitting out to the far side to the top of your screen, but it'll be another handoff between the tackles, and this time coming up to make the tackle. That's number 22, Cameron Mesh, the quarterback, but also playing a big role at the linebacker position. That goes for a gain of 6, however.
Now they're bringing fullback back into the field.
Second down and 4. The snap and the handoff, and that'll be another first down.
Again, they're running a heavy dose of power counter, that gap scheme run. They feel like they've got good matchups on the front. They're getting great yardage every time they do it. Now it just becomes the issue, 3 minutes. Are they going to just continue to take their time, or are they going to want to take a shot?
Jackson Burns with the tackle for Spencerport. 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Canandaigua down by 4. Handoff, Dom Camella once again. Dom Camella close to another first down is Beeman from behind on the tackle. Also in on the tackle is 32, Joe Marcello. But right now, Spencerport on their heels.
Once again, and that's the same steady dose power counter. They ran counter left this time, pulled the backside guard and tackle to the left side, and it's been working for them. Why stop doing it? Keep going.
This drive started at their own 10-yard line, and it's all been on the ground for Canandaigua. And once again, and getting upended, a little pushing after the whistle as the ball goes down to the 37, a gain of 4. It's almost like basketball in this game, Steve, where possessions, Canandaigua scores, but you don't want to score too quick. You don't want to leave time up on the clock there to run a play, so to speak, if we're talking in basketball language. As the handoff now will go inside, and tackle this time made by Jake Lindenmuth, number 44. Now it'll be 3rd down and 3.
This will be an interesting down. They haven't really taken to the air at all. So is this a time where they maybe want to throw something quick? They've been running the ball. Maybe they get a quick hitch on the outside.
Brady, the fullback, Dom Camella following his blockers, sealing it off. That was the tight end, number 4, Eric Clatton, and that'll be another Canandaigua first down.
Gap scheme run to the left side. I mean, it's been there for them the entire night. You know, just keep going with it.
Jason McKelly, the freshman, now will check in and play the defensive tackle position. 1st and 10 is now the play action. There it is, going long, man, open, touchdown! Touchdown, Canandaigua. That's number 7, Jackson Grant, 28 yards. And now Canandaigua with the first lead of the night. It's 9-7 with the extra point at 10 coming up.
You just had a feeling they were setting it up, right? They're running the ball downhill. They're trying to get Spencerport to commit those safeties downhill and run support. And the second they do, that's leaving Grant one-on-one with a corner, and that kid has made big plays all season, and that's a perfect time to take a shot. Coach Welch with a great play call.
Harview is 27 of 29 on PATs this year, and he gets this up, and it is good. 10-7. Canandaigua with their first lead as we take another look at this touchdown by Jackson Grant.
And you saw right there, Mesh was peeking downhill a little bit, and by the time he recovered, it was just a little bit too late. Canandaigua's quarterback's just been a surgeon all year, knowing exactly where to go with the football. and just so precise on all their play calls.
For Brian Boldrin, that is his 10th touchdown pass of the season. And Steve, you called it. It was like, when are they going to go to the air? When are they going to go to the air? And that was the perfect call.
I know firsthand from having to play against them, they always seem to find the perfect time to do it.
Now for Spencerport, you may think, not a lot of time. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so we'll see how far this return will go.
And even though they do run this, their style of offense, they can go no huddle with it, so it's not like they can't run a hurry up.
Well, the difference right now in this game, a Harview field goal. 10-7 is our score at the half. As that will be a kick that will be brought back.
Look at that swarm of red.
Marcelo. There wasn't much blocking. There wasn't any blocking. Ball at the 24, so with 1:23 remaining before halftime, a lot of field in front of Spencerport here as they will take over at their own 25.
They're probably going to try to run what they think is their best play on first down, see what it gets them. If it gets them something, maybe try to push tempo a little bit. If it doesn't get them much, maybe try to just milk the clock and take it to the half.
And if you're looking at this and just logging on, they're coming out there and they're going to kneel it down. No, this is their formation. Mesh handing it off, and Beeman is going to be met by that wall of red. Daniel Coffey, number 70, and others with the stop, and a timeout is called.
And that's honestly 78 Akey and that knows. I mean, he's not gonna get stats playing defense like this, but he handled the inside. He dominated that center, and there was just nowhere for them to go.
Let's talk about the Spencerport Rangers here. As it's been a great season here for Spencerport, as we take a look at some of the highlights this season. This was the win over Thomas, 37-16. Khalees Beeman with lots of space there, finding his way to the end zone. Spencerport, of course, running on that grass field. Not sure who they were playing there, Steve, in that game. Now here will be the handoff. This was the win over Thomas once again. That the highlight from Jake Zimmerman. So Spencerport can certainly rip off some big plays, and Khalees Beeman scoring a touchdown. Great season. Undefeated, 6-0 for Spencerport. Is now the inside handoff going once again and getting depleted on the play. Zimmerman and fired up. Ryan Gavitt with the tackle, number 15.
Over the years, Canandaigua, without question, is the #1 open field one-on-one tackling team that we play. I mean, they are so sound in what they do, and when you get in open space, those guys will put you down.
So faced with a 3rd and long and another timeout, you know why Canandaigua is calling the timeout, Steve. They know they have a good return game. Let's take another look at this. This tackle by number 15.
Inside handoff and boom.
Again, that's 15, Ryan Gavette. Third down and 7. Cameron Mesh. Inside handoff. Up to the 31, and Canandaigua will use their last timeout to force the punt here with 1:03 remaining. Now with some time here, take a look at the season for Canandaigua. 5-0 on the season. This included 1 shutout for the Braves. It started with the win over Arcadia, finished up with the win over Athena, and this was the win over Penfield, 35-7. Really, Canandaigua not tested in any of their games this season. Most of the points they allowed in any game was against Thomas, 16 points. the Trojans on their new field. But here is Canandaigua at home.
Man, that looks familiar.
Yes, that was Boldrin. Steve, I'm sorry.
Hey.
Just some great plays as Sam Bennett. And again, for not just Canandaigua, not just Spencerport, just the idea that we have football here in the spring after everything we've been through. It's just, we're thankful.
Unbelievably grateful that we got to play this season.
Zimmerman with a very important punt here for Spencerport. He angled it correctly last time, and there's nobody back. So that's interesting, that decision by Canandaigua. They were going for the block, and this time it'll go all the way down to the 21. And you would figure maybe Canandaigua just takes a knee. Up 10-7 here at the half.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball back second half, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
Spencerport, a great opening drive that was capped off by the 40-yard touchdown run by Connor Mesh. But then it was Canandaigua getting a field goal. Harvey in from 23. Jackson Grant with the touchdown reception for 28 yards. Canandaigua is going to run some offense here. Here comes the screen on the near side to Camella. Camella turning it upfield to the 25, to the 30, and he'll be knocked out of bounds, stopping the clock with 42 seconds remaining. PA announcer crediting Akey with a key block on that, as he should. 1st and 10 at the 33. Bennett going into motion, the play action. Boldrin, he's going to take off here, and he's just going to take what he can get, stepping out of bounds, chased out of bounds by Joe Marcello.
Again, I think the thing that's most impressive about Boldrin is he just always makes the right decision. He looked downfield, they tried to run that jet sweep, set up the seams. He saw it wasn't there because Mesh was sitting back again, and he just tucked it, got it out of bounds, stopped the clock.
2nd down and 6. The snap, then Boldrin's going to roll to his right. Throws on the run, and that'll be caught on the far side by Bennett, getting into Spencerport territory to their 46, stopping the clock with 30 seconds before halftime.
They do such a nice job blocking on that stretch sprint out that they do. And again, it's nice to see the explosive play downfield, but really what that all set up with is Boldrin had so much time to look.
You're wanting about field goal range. You got about 30 yards to go here before we can start thinking about Harview. Is now here will be Boldrin now rolling at opposite side, throwing across his body, and that will be incomplete. Is darting there with Zimmerman. He saw that, and luckily for Canandaigua's sake, that falls incomplete.
An incomplete, clock stops. Now they got time, right? They don't have to rush. They can take a look, find the best play they've got in the menu, and go with it.
Second down and 10 from the 46. Play clock at 15 as Canandaigua approaches the line of scrimmage. Grant, the receiver, in the slot to the top of the screen.
There's so much space down here on the left.
Boldrin looking left. Boldrin didn't like it. He's going to tuck it and run. Boldrin to the 40. Boldrin stepping out of bounds at the 35. That's a sprint of 11 yards, and it stops the clock with 18.3 remaining.
Plenty of time left for them. They still have all the plays left in the menu. Moves the chains.
Canandaigua wanting some points here before halftime. Bennett now in the slot to the right, along with Grant. The snap, Boldrin rolling to his right. Boldrin throwing on the run. His man wide open. That's going to be Bennett, and he'll duck out of bounds at the 20. 12.3 seconds remaining, and now you're on the fringe of the range here for Harview, the field goal kicker. But I'm sure they're not thinking about that right now.
Well, you never know. I mean, again, I think that's a great thing. He kicked one earlier, so now that kicker's feeling a little bit of confidence, and you as a coach has confidence in him if you can't get this touchdown.
Remember, Canandaigua out of timeouts here as Boldrin rolling to his left. He's under pressure, batted it into the air, and that goes incomplete. The defensive play for Spencerport by Jake Lindenmuth, number 44.
It's interesting. The sprint to the runs to the left side have been the best run plays they have. Sprint to the left hasn't worked out as well. They have a lot more time, and here it comes. That kicker's got a leg. He's going to get an opportunity right now.
Oliver Harview now with 7.6. Yeah, this is right on the line there. If you run a play and you're in bounds, that would be the end of the half. This is not going to be an easy field goal, though. The ball spotted on the right hash at the 27-yard line. This is a 37-yard attempt for Harview. He's got one tonight. Snap is down. Kick is up. It has the distance. It is wide left. So the rush was coming and pushed it just to the left. And Spencerport dodges a bullet.
But if you're Canandaigua, right, it was a great decision to try to go for it. You didn't get it, but you feel good about the fact that your offense seems to be moving the ball pretty steadily now, and you're going to get the ball back to start the second half.
Spencerport, you would assume, would just take a knee. The crazy thing about this, Steve, this first half took 47 minutes. I'm just floored. When you play Spencerport, the clock is going to be keeping moving. As now it'll be mesh to take the snap. They will run a play, and the handoff will go inside, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. Kind of what we expected here tonight between both teams here, Rangers and Braves. The Rangers defense at the end, they bent, but they didn't break, so certainly anyone's game as we head to the second half.
Both teams are running the ball. They figured out some recipes to do. I think Canandaigua, if I had to say, has a little bit more of the momentum now going into the second half. It'll be interesting to see how Spencerport's defense tries to adjust, because right now, between the run and the pass, mixing it up, Canandaigua seems to get in a little bit of a flow going into halftime.
Well, coming up here at the half, don't go anywhere. We've got the plays of the week coming your way. We will come back, have more stats and coverage as we're at the half here in the Class A semifinal. Canandaigua leading Spencerport 10-7. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We want to thank everyone for doing their part in these challenging times.
No matter where we work from, we're still here protecting you and your family's rights.
We want you to know that we will always be here for you and your family.
Using our technology so we can protect you and your family no matter where we are.
For your free consultation, call or text 262-COMP today.
Your workers' comp attorneys.
Looking for a great way to commemorate this season's sectionals? Section 5 Athletics is excited to work with Mugs & More to offer a variety of apparel options for each sport and each season. Items include graphics specifically developed to feature the sport and year, including items such as hoodies, hats, pants, and more. Apparel for each season is available for a limited time, so don't miss your chance. Visit section5.org/mugsandmore to see the many options and place your order today.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
on the first play. Rager cuts the corner to 30 to 35 to 40 to 45 to 50. The 5, touchdown, Blue Devils. There's the snap, and back to pass. Throws straight across the middle. He's got a receiver open and in for the touchdown. Wow, what a play call on first down.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils. Rosin coach Craig Murphy. There's you. What a move. And the foul.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Patience offensively against this excellent defense. Now the shot's fired. How about that? Right into the top of the cage off the stick.
It'll be second down and 3. Handoff this time right up the middle. And B.J. Clark is gone for the touchdown.
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone at 866-577-1950. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Back at Brave Stadium where the teams, Spencerport's out there. Canandaigua, if you're not familiar with this, they come right down those steps like gladiators here in the new stadium. Get the crowd fired up. As the Braves down 7-0 early, they found their rhythm on defense. Steve Lee and they lead 10-7 here as we warm up and get ready for the second half.
Yeah, it definitely felt like Canandaigua kind of figured it out a little bit. They were breaking some runs to the left side, running behind 78. Honestly, I think that's been the key. 78 on both sides of the ball. He's been playing their nose on defense, and I think holding down the middle and allowing linebackers to kind of get some free run instead of getting bodies and blockers up on them. And then offensively, they're just running behind them. They're running power counter game behind them and getting big yards.
Take a look at the scoring here, and it's going to be the 40-yard touchdown run by Connor Mesh, the older brother of Cameron. Cameron handing it off to his brother into the end zone and touchdown, and that was the opening drive. And you could see right at the beginning that Canandaigua needed a minute or two to dial in. That came just 2:52 into that first quarter, but that was all of Spencerport scoring. The rest of the scoring coming by the way of Harview, a 23-yard field goal, cutting it to 7-3. And then Jackson Grant over the top, one of the times that Canandaigua found a big play over the top. Hasn't been much passing at all here tonight as we take a look at that pass. And again, the play action and just a nice throw by Boldrin here.
Again, opportunistic with the pass, right? You don't need to force it, but when it's there, you wait your turn, and when you see that safety creeping down, go take advantage, and Canandaigua has done that so well, not just this season, but over the years.
And Dom Camella has certainly run for some hard yardage, and if Spencerport doesn't do a better job here defensively, that's going to go not in their favor, certainly, as you see the Rangers at stake for Spencerport. They've never been to a sectional final. And certainly Canandaigua, that is almost like you expect them, the way this program is. So certainly two teams here vying for this. The winner of this game is going to face East High. And not a surprise that East High won, but I would say maybe a surprise just the fact that just the way they won, 26-0 for East High today, as the Eagles in that game, the Eagles of Irondequoit, I should say, mistakes, fumbling a ball into the end zone, turning it over on that play, also an interception near the end zone, so turnovers costly, penalties costly, and the season ending today for Irondequoit.
Playoff football, you know, when you have teams of equal caliber, and again, all four teams that have made it are without question, deservedly so. You can't afford to make mistakes like that. Other teams are just too good to capitalize, and you have all those athletes at East High, and you just can't give them extra possessions.
So Bennett, along with Dom Camella, will be deep back here. Well, it's some confusion on where are we kicking off here, I suppose. Now I'm confused here.
Yeah.
Where was the penalty here against Canandaigua?
I don't know.
Okay, so that's why the ball, it's a 15-yard penalty being assessed against the Braves, and your guests at home, if somebody knows, tweet us at Varsity Media, but a penalty against the Braves has been assessed, and Spencerport will go for this kick. It's going to be fumbled. Did Spencerport get it back? What is the call? All right, so Spencerport offside on that play. The flag was down.
Wow.
Oh,
left side there.
Yep.
Little eager.
Connor Mesh had the recovery, but he also might have been the one offside. So Spencerport now will kick off from the 50.
They're
We do have a highlight reel we'll show it at some point of all the Canandaigua returns. Steve, I know you're very excited to see that.
Oh, I'm intimately familiar with the Canandaigua return team. When I close my eyes sometime at night, it plays in a loop in my head.
Zimmerman will try this again. Let's see if they go again with the squib kick. Indeed, they will. Nice bouncing kick, and Bennett's just going to lay on that, smartly so, at the 34-yard line. And Canandaigua will begin their possession here, up by a score of 10-7.
2 backs in the game. Looks like they're going to try to go back to that power run game, probably to the left.
The 2 Camellas in the backfield, 22 being Brady, 21 being Dom. Boldrin, your quarterback. Dom Camella between the tackles. And Dom Camella will be cut down on the far side. So we're getting word as what the penalty might have been. And this is from Coach Benham at Gates Child. We appreciate that, Coach. That Canandaigua might have come down out of the locker room late.
Oh.
You should be on the field right with 3 minutes to go before when they reset it. Thank you very much, Coach. We appreciate that. As Canandaigua rolling and they get to the 49.
That left side again. Just keep going with it. Keep going with it. Wait until they bring the safeties down and then take a shot over the top.
Braves on the move as they have a 3-point lead. Camella getting the call, breaking an arm tackle, but in the end, he's going to be brought down as Travis Brown, 41, helping out on the tackle.
It looked like they ran over at Marianetti's side that time, and again, that guy's a big, strong kid, and he seemed like he was able to hold down the point of attack.
2nd down and 9 at the 48. Hand off to Camella, head of steam. 1st down, he gets upended.
They definitely found something they like. Again, on the left side, I said it earlier, they found some early success there, but it looks like we've got some laundry.
Indeed, a holding call, and those are drive killers. Well, would have been a 1st down. Back them up.
But I don't think this changes what you want to do, right? You're backed up, but you just ran the ball and got a big play. I don't think there's any reason to deviate from that.
Ball back to the 44. Boldrin out of the shotgun. Boldrin handing it off. Dom Camella again. Dom Camella with room. 1st down yardage and more. Can he take this to distance? 20, 15, 10, 5! Knocked out of bounds at the 1. Big play.
Counter left again. They I'm telling you, I don't even know how many yards per carry that's averaging right now, but just keep with it.
55 yards on this, and you got to wrap up if you're Spencerport. Zimmerman saving the touchdown. Canandaigua, can they punch this in? And Camella gets cut down in the backfield. And making that tackle for a lost Connor Mesh.
Tons of outside pressure. They're going to bring heavy blitz right now that there's not as much field to stretch vertically. Lock up man-to-man on the outside and just load the box as much as you can.
Handoff once again. Camella will walk into the end zone. Touchdown for Canandaigua. That's number 21. Dom Camella, his 10th rushing touchdown of the season, and Canandaigua now up 16-7.
It's interesting, you just by the look of the formations and the way they do things, you think it's very different, but both teams are running that power counter scheme, trying to find the bubbles to run to and doing it very successfully.
Harview for the extra point, and that will be true. Drive taking only 1:59 off the clock, and Canandaigua now up by 10, 17-7. And the key play on this, a 55-yard touchdown run by Camella. It's only fitting and natural that he gets the 1-yard run, but my gosh, what a what a gaping hole opened up in between. The center, Zach Dreisbach, helping open that up.
Those guys are very physical up front. I mean, that's Canandaigua style football. They've always been that way, and once you get down that close, it's hard to stop somebody.
We are in the third quarter. And now for Spencerport. Again, kind of a one-dimensional offense, you could say. They don't like to throw the ball all that much. Down by 10 here, and first time that Spencerport has faced a deficit like this. It's the first time, in fact, this year they've given up double digits, the most they've given up in any game this year. 7 points to Webster Thomas 2 weeks ago. End over end kick. It's going to be caught at the 10. That'll be Mesh with a head of steam. There he goes. Up to the 45 to the 50. One man to beat. Mesh puts on the brakes. Stutter step and then out of bounds. And you know what? Oliver Harview, the kicker for Canandaigua. No, he didn't make the tackle, but he slowed him up enough to get some help along the way. Shout out to you, Oliver.
Again, you know, Canandaigua's got some weapons, but so does Spencerport. You've got all these guys. Mesh can take the distance, and I don't think this changes what you want to do offensively now. You've got all these different guys that have had big plays all season long. I think when you look down at the list of scores between the Mesh brothers, Beeman, Zimmerman, there's no reason to deviate from what you do right now.
For Spencerport, they start out off that return at the Canandaigua 30-yard line. We are in the third. Canandaigua leading by 10. Under the lights here at Braves Field. The sophomore quarterback, Cameron Mesh. Flag coming down right as the ball was snapped as Cameron Mesh getting a gain of 5. But we shall see what that call is all about.
I wonder if they're going to get him for that false start again. That left side of the line, they were pulling to the right side, and you could tell they just left just a hair early.
So instead of 2nd and 5, 1st and 15. Jackson Burns, left tackle. Nick Crawford, the left guard for Spencerport. 1st and 15. The snap, inside handoff to Beeman. And Beeman will follow tacklers. And he'll get the penalty yardage back, but nothing more. Gain of 5 on the play to bring up 2nd and 10.
It looks like Spencerport's getting a good wash on those defensive tackles. Really, as long as they can get a good kick out on those defensive ends who are very good football players, they feel like they can run that off-tackle game.
Spencerport has yet to attempt a pass this evening. Coelho, the fullback, number 5, he's going to lead the way here for Beeman, and that pile will move down to the 25 for a gain of 5. Canandaigua, they're saying it's out, but no, the official on the near side is signaling he was down. To bring up 3rd and 5. Goal ball phaser. Now let's see, can you tell from
It's impossible.
Yeah. The whistle blows.
Yeah, it must have been the whistle blew it dead.
You would think we're at 100% capacity, folks, with the noise the Canandaigua crowd is making here tonight. The inside handoff going, and that's going to go for a 1st down. The end recipient, Connor Mesh, getting it across the 20, down to the 18. 1st down for Spencerport.
Again, they're getting good push on those defensive tackles. As long as they can create the movement there, they feel like they've got those seams in the BC gap. As long as they can handle the defensive ends, it looks like Spencerport's found something to work with.
Connor Mesh with the return all the way to the 30-yard line. So that's where this drive started out. It's now down to the 18. Only the second time this evening that Spencerport has gotten inside the red zone. And technically, they haven't run a play in the end zone. That touchdown went for 40 yards earlier tonight. The handoff going, Connor Mesh. And Connor Mesh getting it inside down to the 15 for about a gain of 3.
I think that's that first time they've really tried to go to that power sweep, trying to keep those defensive ends honest now that they're starting to crash versus the inside run, trying to take advantage of the outside, but that outside backer did a pretty decent job stringing it out.
At what point does Spencerport try something over the top, or do they even, Steve?
I don't think they need to at this point. They've been. It's not. The game's not out of hand. There's no reason to deviate from what you're doing if you're moving the football.
Keeper as Cameron Mesh, and Cameron Mesh is going to be met maybe a gain of 1 on that.
Dreisbach did an incredible job. He was the weak side defensive end, and because they pulled everyone to the front, he was unblocked, and instead of getting over penetration in the backfield, he knifed right down the line of scrimmage, was able to pull Mesh down from behind.
Well, keep this in the back of your mind. Zimmerman, they can trust him from this range here. So John Dowd, I'm sure, is kind of weighing that option here as Spencerport looking at a 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 at the 15. Handoff inside. And that is going to be close to a first down inside the 10 and down to the 7 about.
Yep, they're moving the sticks.
So they needed 7, got about 8 on that.
Now this is a point first down red zone. If Spencerport's going to look to throw the ball off play action, this may be an opportunity to do it. But again, they are moving the ball on the run, so why get fancy?
That big freshman center, Jason McKelly, leading that Spencerport offensive line. 1st and goal from the 7. Handoff inside going to Goelli, and Goelli is just going to be tied up. Forward progress down to the 6.
That direct downhill kind of wedge play, I think Canandaigua's found an answer to that with Akey inside. I mean, he's just so tough. And so I think right now your best bet is you're going to run off tackle, try to run at those defensive tackles. That's where you're getting all your movement.
Akey, number 78, anchoring that Canandaigua defensive line. Big series here for the Canandaigua defense. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 6. Cameron Mesh takes the snap. Inside handoff to Beeman, and the tackle's not giving any space here whatsoever for Canandaigua. A gain of 1 on the play.
Now, if you do feel good about your kicker and you can walk away and get this to a 1-score game with a field goal, this would be an opportunity to throw. It all depends. Do you see a matchup you like? I would imagine that this, if they're going to take a shot, this would be it.
Call coming in. Nobody looking at any wristband here for Spencerport. They know the play call. Goelli is your fullback, the double wing. Beeman flanked on the right side. Fumble.
Ball down.
Fumble. And Spencerport falling on it. Now it's 4th and goal. And is Zimmerman coming out? He is.
Kicking block is on the field.
All right, this to make it a 1-score game. And see what you like about this, and this is an underrated thing in my opinion, but I think it's important. It's important to have the ball between the hashes here.
No question. I mean, this is basically an extra point.
Zimmerman to kick the extra point. Excuse me, to kick the field goal. Snap down, kick is up. Yeah, it's good. From 22 yards, Zimmerman with the field goal to make this game 17-10.
That was a great series for Spencerport. Get it to a 1-score game. Hopefully, you figured out a little bit of what Canandaigua wanted to do. They wanted to run the ball to the left, so now defensively, do you have an answer dialed up to stop that counter run game?
Well, when you play like Spencerport and Canandaigua, I am looking at the clock. Each team has had one possession. We only have 3.5 minutes remaining in the third.
It is wild. You got to make the most of every possession when you play these guys. You just can't afford to have a bad play or a wasted play because you just don't know when you're going to get the ball back.
Jake Zimmerman, the senior.
Let's see how many different onside kicks Spencerport has dialed up.
Interesting blocking scheme here, too. It's almost like Canandaigua kind of expects maybe the squib kick here.
Yeah,
so
it does look like they have kind of like a onside return hands team type of situation set up.
With 9 players within 10 yards of the return area. Zimmerman puts his right hand into the air. Jake Zimmerman squib kicking this, and that will be caught and sitting down with it. Ryan Cavett, no need to get anything fancy, and this is going to set up Canandaigua with great field position at their own 41.
Don't change what you're doing if you're Canandaigua. Again, you see fullbacks in the game. They're going to run out of their pro set, their 21 personnel, and just expect a heavy dose of gap scheme run to the left.
Dom Camella having a big night so far. Broke off a 55-yard run last drive. Here's going to be Camella again. And Camella lowering his shoulder, pulling his way ahead. And that will go for a gain of 9 up to the 50-yard line.
And there it is. And Spencerport looked like they weren't set. It looked like they were trying to still get some communication in from the sideline, and some of those defensive linemen weren't ready for that ball to be snapped.
Cameron Mesh with the tackle. 2nd down and 1, and this opens up the playbook here a little bit, Steve, if you want to. It will go back to the ground, getting upended, but not before the first down is Connor Mesh coming through to make the tackle, but that goes for a 2-yard gain and another Braves first down.
There's no reason to change what you're doing. It is working for Canandaigua. Run the ball downhill, force them to stop you.
Hand off to Camella. Camella breaking an arm tackle, and Camella will get a nice gain down to the 42, a gain of 6. Second down and 4 is Bennett on the near boundary. Jackson Grant, who has a touchdown tonight, he is on the far side. 2nd down and 4.
There's
play
the shot.
action,
Here
looking for Bennett, going deep, double coverage, and nearly intercepted in and out of the hands of 22 Cameron Mesh. Tough play to look back and turn around and locate that. And luckily for Canandaigua, that was not the second interception tonight by Boulder.
Give Mesh credit. He was in that deep zone. He hung back. Right? Didn't want to bite like he did on the last time when they got beat for the touchdown, and he was in position to make a play.
Bennett might have helped break that up, actually. 3rd down and 4.
Spencerport's got overload blitz coming from the left side to try to slow this down.
And they're going to beat the blitz and then some. Inside the 30, tackle made by 22 Cameron Mesh.
And that's the risk reward there. You bring heavy blitz to the front, and if you get to the second level, there's nobody there to make the stop.
We've got a Spencerport player that is down for an injury. First down for Canandaigua. While we have a minute, for Canandaigua this year, certainly a great offense, a great special teams unit, though, to go right along with it. The highlights for the Braves on the return game. How many touchdown returns? Is it 8 on punts and kickoffs? It's just crazy.
It is wild. When we played them, it got away from us early. Then we scored to feel good about, keeping it close. And then all of a sudden we kicked it off to them and they scored again. And it's just you can never rest or take a break.
This, of course, just coming last week, the game against Thomas.
And look what you see. You see every single person blocking, looking for somebody and trying to win their matchup. And that's the biggest thing that stands out. This is the opener against us. You know, they came right down our throats. I mean, it's impressive. I don't know the culture that Coach Welch has going. Those kids are bought in, and they are looking to win every single battle that they have.
Bennett with that last return. We'll get a number on the Spencerport player that is hurt, but not to speculate, but it just appears maybe to be a cramping issue as they're stretching this player out. The player helped to his feet, that being Joe Marcello, number 32.
Anytime a player's down and they can walk off, at least that's a good thing.
Well, let's give Spencerport's defense a chance to just kind of regroup here. 1st and 10 at the 28. 2:02 remaining in the third. And it's been the Dom Camella show here, driving the engine for this Canandaigua offense here tonight. He had the last touchdown. He's going to get the call here. Camella stumbling forward, gets it down to the 18, another gain of 9.
You know, some people might want to see those, high-flying passing offenses, but this is beautiful. You got a run game that's working. You're just dominating up front. There's no reason to get fancy. Just keep running the same thing over and over until they stop you.
They will move the chains, give them 10 on that. Canandaigua back in the red zone. Boldrin handing off to Camella. His brother leading the way, blocking down to about the 12. Another gain, big gain on the play of 7.
It's impressive. Canandaigua was winning the line of scrimmage. You can see before Camella even hits the line, they've moved the line of scrimmage 2-3 yards into the Spencerport backfield, and just it's tough to win that way.
The snap, handoff going, Camella. And Camella will set up a 1st and goal situation as he gets it down to the 4.
Looks like another possible cramping situation for another Spencerport player.
That's Goelli now hobbling around. Well, he's got to make sure he gets right here. You don't want to be a hero if you can't move out there. 1st and goal from the 4. The snap, handoff. Into the end zone, touchdown.
Physical run.
No question about it. And slow to get up. Oh, no. Camella crossed the plane and realized something doesn't feel quite right here. His 2nd touchdown of the evening. But a muted celebration here for Canandaigua.
Power to the left side, great push on the front, physical run to finish the play. Hopefully Camella's all right.
You can see he's grabbing his left leg as he was getting up.
Looks like it's a cramp. Looks like they're stretching out that calf.
So with 35 seconds remaining, Harvey will come on to attempt the extra point here. Coach John Dowd, Spencerport, trying to coach his team up here while we have the minute. Take a look at the schedule here, and tomorrow, get your chores done early. Log on, watch the Class AA semis. McQuaid hosting Pittsford at 4, but before that we've got Victor and Hilton coming up at 2 o'clock tomorrow.
I got to say, I mean, the unfortunate, obviously, with COVID and not being able to have full attendance has been difficult, but these live streams have been incredible. As a coach, we my staff and I, we sit down. We've got different screens going, watching a bunch of different games, texting each other about what's going on, and I think it's wonderful what Varsity Media has been able to do for everybody in Section 5 this year.
Well, we appreciate all the support here from Section 5, certainly. And that is a bummer right now to see Dom Carmelo, who's had a heck of a game behind that offensive line tonight. And again, you just hope that's kind of a cramping situation. He'll be okay moving forward.
Right. Hopefully it's nothing serious. He's a tremendous back.
Here's Harview. By the way, Harview helping out with that tackle, saved 4 points. Just want to point that out there.
Kicker's got to get some love.
Yeah. As here will be the snap down. Kick is up. And that is good. 24-10 on the touchdown, the second by Dom Camella this evening. As we'll take one more look on the 4-yard run going left side. And what you like about that, too, is he's met it like the 2, and he's just determined. I'm going to physically work my way in. And you mentioned this right at the top. When you're playing Canandaigua, you know it's going to be physical.
No question. I mean, it's something we, as a staff, we joke about every year when we go to scout Canandaigua. It's maybe a new set of names, but they all look the same every year. Physical, tough, hard-nosed kids. Maybe it's a different person inside the uniform, but you got to get ready for a physical style of football.
Under the lights here tonight at the new Braves Field. And hopefully when we get back to doing some of the things you love, if you haven't been here, you got to come check this stadium out. End over end kick that Zimmerman will take at the 10. Zimmerman working his way forward up to the 30-yard line. So with 30 seconds remaining, important drive for Spencerport, knowing you're already down by 2 scores here as we're nearing the end of the third.
And it's interesting now the way that Canandaigua's been running the football. If you're Spencerport, do you start thinking kind of the way people do when they play against them? How long can Canandaigua possess the ball if they get it again? You're down 2 scores. Does that change kind of the type of plays you want to go with? I don't know. I think, with Spencerport, they do what they do, and they're not going to deviate from that. But again, with both teams just running the ball and how fast this game is moving, clock is going to become an issue, even though there's a whole quarter to go.
The one thing we don't know, Dom Camella right now, watching him on the sideline, he is on the bench and is trying to work it out, it appears. The handoff going inside, and that's going to go to Connor Mesh, and Connor Mesh only will get 2, and unless Spencerport hurries it up, this will take us to the end of the quarter. Spencerport huddling up here, and there you see our great camera guys. Connor Mesh is tying those cleats there. Beg your pardon, that's, of course, Camella, as that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. 24-10 is our score. Canandaigua 1 quarter away from getting back to the sectional final. We go to the fourth here tonight. This is the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We want to thank everyone for doing their part in these challenging times.
No matter where we work from, we're still here protecting you and your family's rights.
We want you to know that we will always be here for you and your family.
Using our technology so we can protect you and your family no matter where we are.
For your free consultation, call or text 262-COMP today.
Your workers' comp attorneys.
As we begin the fourth here.
Putting Camella through some functional testing down there. He looks okay.
Handoff going to Zimmerman, and Zimmerman will get it ahead to the 40. So that is a good game for Spencerport to bring up 3rd and 1. And we'll keep an eye on Dom Camella. Cody Akey with the tackle for Canandaigua as it's 3rd and 1. Mesh, handing off to Mesh, and that is going to be met for no gain. And we have 23 getting up a little slowly, Connor Mesh. Stretching it out a little bit. And that's not a good sign at all whatsoever for Spencerport, and Connor Mesh taking the helmet off. This game exacting a toll on both of these teams.
It's a physical style of football both teams are playing. And again, you're asking a lot. You know, these ball carriers for Spencerport play both sides of the ball, and you can see it's kind of taking its toll on them down the stretch.
Now Connor, 23, he is the senior. And the look on his face, it's like you can almost tell. In the back of your mind, you're always wondering, when is this going to be perhaps my last game here in high school? So while we have a minute, we will step aside. 24-10, Canandaigua leading here in the 4th. This is the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Looking for a great way to commemorate this season's sectionals? Section 5 Athletics is excited to work with Mugs & More to offer a variety of apparel options for each sport and each season. Items include graphics specifically developed to feature the sport and year, including items such as hoodies, hats, pants, and more. Apparel for each season is available for a limited time, so don't miss your chance. Visit section5.org/mugsandmore to see the many options and place your order today.
4th and 1. Spencerport down by 14. They're going to go for it. Here it is. The keeper
didn't get it.
No! Beeman got the handoff. No gain on the play. And Canandaigua's defense comes up with the stop.
Interesting. They're gonna. It's an interesting spot that they're gonna measure because it looked like I got stuffed up pretty well.
I don't even know why they are measuring this. To be honest, Steve, I don't quite understand, but I'm usually very bad at this game. You know, spotting is that a first down or not? But yeah, clearly that is not a first down.
Not even remotely. And it looks like Dom Camella is back out on the field at running back.
He is indeed, so that is a great sign. And now Canandaigua with an opportunity to go for the knockout punch here. 10:47 remaining. They get the ball in Spencerport territory at the 40-yard line. The handoff going to Camella, and Camella will be taken down as he'll get it down to about the 36-yard line. Travis Brown with a tackle for Spencerport.
Same recipe they had last series. Run downhill, counter game to the left, run it behind Akey. It ain't broke, so keep with it.
Second down and 6.
Here we go, Red!
Now you got Mesh down this tight. Is this the time where you take a shot over the top?
Everybody looks like a blitz coming here for Spencerport, and they get to that second level as Cameron Mesh hanging on to Camella, but not before he gets down to the 26-yard line. A gain of 10 for Canandaigua.
It's impressive. I mean, when you're able to, they're just running the same 2-3 plays over and over again and just dominating up front.
Dom Camella, hands on hips, looking back at the sideline. The clock is your friend if you're Canandaigua, as now they take this under 10 seconds on the play clock. 1st and 10. Spencerport run blitzing, and that'll go across the 25 and down to the 24. Make it the 23, so a gain of 3 for Canandaigua.
No reason to rush right now. Take your time, run the clock, continue to move the football. Stay on schedule like they've been doing.
Canandaigua band having some fun here tonight. This takes us under 9 minutes to go here tonight. Play clock now at 10. Braves now. We'll have again the Camella brothers in the backfield. Boldrin handing off to Dom Camella. Dom Camella following those blocks. And that pile moving on the left side of the line. Again, that blocking there. Nick Herbst, who will be going to Brockport, leading the way on that block.
Now they're just going to take their time. Coaches aren't even signaling it in yet. Let that clock run.
Bring up 3rd down and 2. Spencerport needs a takeaway in the worst of ways. Really, that is really kind of their only way out of this right now. Down by 14, and Canandaigua marching. The snap, the handoff. Camella breaks an arm tackle, and Camella will have the 1st down, and getting inside the 15, the helmet comes off. Physical play there.
He is an impressive running back. He's not huge, but you just saw right there, he was wrapped up by 2 people. His legs never stopped and just kept churning and churning and churning, and man, he's impressive.
And he'll have to come off the field for one play with the helmet popping off later. Just one of those things that'll happen. So we're under 8 minutes to go now. Cameron Tallman, first time we've had him in the lineup tonight. So Tallman will be out of the fullback position. And Brady Camella. Brady will get the call. And he'll get it down to about the 11. And a flag coming down right at the end. And a flag after that.
Yeah, you saw him saying a little something extra.
Things unraveling here for Spencerport. And it's pretty clear there, the language. There's a zero tolerance policy, correct, Coach, on that?
Absolutely. You know, it's tough. You're desperate. This is a big game, and for sure these kids are playing passionately. Unfortunately, that doesn't help you at all.
So you have the personal foul for the late hit, and then you have the unsportsmanlike tacked on top of it. So how does this work? Half the distance, and then on top of that, half the distance? I would assume.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's going to be close. And again, Canandaigua was just going to take their time, look at them running the football downhill. Yep, that late hit comes in right there from 55. That's tough, though. 55 was coming in to make a play. It didn't look like it was anything intentional. He didn't know the guy was down and just.
Yep, it's a tough play against Brockway there. But then you have to assume that something was said the official after that. Now, for the Braves, this is what they've been working for all night tonight. Close it right now. 1st and goal to go from the 4. The snap, the handoff, Dom Camella, and Dom Camella will be wrapped up. Great technique there by Cameron Mesh, 22 for a loss of 1.
That was a great job by the linebackers and Mesh coming downhill. The Canandaigua offensive line took care of the front, but they never got hands on those backers, and they were able to come in unblocked.
Canandaigua milking that clock. We're under 7 now to go. Play clock at 15. So after those penalties, that was the odd thing. It was not an automatic first down. So this is going to be third down and 2 from the 5. And we get a timeout call by Canandaigua. With the timeout, we will break as well. 6:34 remaining here in the Class A semifinal with Canandaigua leading Spencerport 24-10 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy.
He's got up. He's in.
Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage. And one of many threes on the day.
Interviews and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
Sure, Steve Flagler, James Van watching tonight. Maybe the many members of that East team watching tonight as well. Who are they going to face? Right now, it looks like Canandaigua. And Canandaigua facing a third down and 2 from the 5. And the handoff will go to Tallman, and he will get it close to the marker for a first down. Leaning forward, getting it down to about the 3. Actually, I beg your pardon, that is Camella back in there, Dom Camella. They're going to mark him short. And Oliver Harview will come on out to attempt a PAT, or excuse me, the field goal to make this a 3-score game.
Big night for the kicker tonight.
No question, as this will be a 20-yard attempt for Harview. Already connected earlier tonight from 23. A whistle. Wow.
Spencerport jumped.
A couple personal fouls on Spencerport this drive, and now, oh no, it's going to go against Canandaigua. So the kick got a little more difficult here for Harview.
This honestly might give him a little bit of a better angle. The closer you in from that side, it closes the window a little bit.
25-yard attempt from just outside the left hash. Snap is down, kick has the distance, and that goes through the uprights. Oliver Harview, second field goal tonight. Perfect on PATs. Kicking game important, certainly. 27-10 our score, and time running out here on Spencerport. 5:46 remaining in this game.
And this is where it becomes a little bit difficult. Their style of offense, down 3 scores, not a lot of clock left. It's interesting to see what they're going to be able to dial up to try to get back into this quickly.
Braves to kick this away. And looking out on the field now, good to see that Connor Mesh, number 23, is going to be back out there. Remember, appeared to cramp up earlier in the game, had to leave.
They had a big return earlier. They're definitely looking for one now.
Please, Beeman backing up here. If they're going to squib it, Beeman has the ability to break one. Harview is going to knock this one way back, all the way to the 10. This will be Zimmerman. Zimmerman keeping those legs moving. He'll get across the 30 and up to about the 34. So with 5:40 remaining, Spencerport, their opening drive, their most impressive of the evening, but after that, only 3 points to show for it tonight. And it has just been a great Canandaigua defense, specifically the defensive line for this Braves team.
Yeah, I think what you saw in that first drive is, again, we talked about it at the top, this style of offense is very difficult to prepare for, and I think that first series, it's always a little bit of an adjustment. Once they kind of settled down and got through it, obviously they adjusted pretty well, and they've been pretty stout since.
Sophomore quarterback Cameron Mesh wearing number 22. He's going to have Goelli back there. Goelli back on the field. And he'll take the direct snap, and he will get spun around, getting it up to about the 38. Problem for Spencerport is keeps the clock running now.
It looked like they're going to that little wildcat shotgun look that they try to do, maybe trying to set up a passing situation. But like you said, it's tough. This style of offense, the clock tends to run, and there just doesn't seem to be a lot of time left for him.
Mesh handing it off to Goelli. And Goelli is going to get upended. Just some solid tackling here tonight. And that's number 22, Brady Camella, the linebacker. Short gain on the play.
That's something Canandaigua does so well down to their youth program. They teach that gator tackling. Those guys do it so well all the way through, so by the time they get to varsity football, it's just second nature to them.
Mesh as Beeman delivers a block at first throw tonight, and just out of reach. Pass on the far side, and that intended for Jake Lindenmuth. Now 4th down, and clock stopping. The officials stopping the clock here. And Spencerport obviously has to go for it here.
Yeah, you have no choice. I don't know what the officials are talking about right now.
The loyal Canandaigua fans out here tonight. I'm sure there's many more that would have loved to have been here. You drive down the street, Main Street in Canandaigua, you see the sign, game tonight. You go into a restaurant, you see the schedule. You just know this whole town is behind not only this program, but just all the Canandaigua sports. Just a great kind of feel down here.
Absolutely, they do well up here. Like they are the gold standard, I think, in our league and in Section 5. Down to when you're a visiting team here, the way that their people greet you and the way they treat you as the visitors. I mean, they do everything first class here, and it shows.
There's a clock issue. That's why we had the timeout. So they set the clock at 4:25. And Canandaigua, for all intents and purposes, can end the game right here. It will be a throw. The throw, and that will be broken up. Broken up as number 5, Jackson Neiman with the defense as the intended receiver, Jake Lindemuth, could not hang on. And Canandaigua will take over on downs.
Impressive. They got a lot of penetration in the quarterback's face, and he just had to deliver it, and great coverage on the back end.
You think he should have had an interception there was Ryan Gavette, number 15. And Steve, I think we're going to call it. Canandaigua, congratulations. You're going to get the host here, the Class A championship game. No other year would you actually be hosting. We've been at Brockport for many years ago at the U of R. Canandaigua against East next Friday night.
And as you can tell, what an advantage, right? Like you said it many times, it's not a full stadium here, but it feels like one, it sounds like one, and what a great advantage it is for Canandaigua to be able to host the finals.
No question about it. And from earlier today, my gosh, Justice Ross Simmons, 2 touchdowns for East today. The one just maybe the best defensive play I've seen this year. He comes around the corner, strips the Irondequoit quarterback, and takes it the other way himself.
It'll be a great style of explosive offenses. You know, they don't East isn't going to try to do a lot fancy. They just have tremendous athletes. They're trying to get the ball in space, and it'll be a tall task for Canandaigua, but as you can see tonight, I'm sure they're up for it.
Spencerport burning their first time out here. Boldrin with the 1 touchdown pass tonight. That got Canandaigua going, that pass to Jackson Grant. And as you would expect, Canandaigua keeping it on the ground here. And the officials immediately stopping the clock. 4:02 remaining now. Spencerport will have 1 timeout remaining.
And Canandaigua's got the luxury right now, right? With the style of offense that Spencerport runs, they don't need to score. They just want to run as much time as possible. Even if you give the ball back to Spencerport now, you're giving it to them under 4, and that's just not enough clock right now with what they've got going to make up the deficit.
Yeah, let's take a look at this play we were just talking about. Justice Ross Simmons, the strip sack, picks it out of midair. And it was at that point a 14-0 game. Irondequoit driving, thinking, okay, we're going to get back into this game. Ross Simmons is a player. He is somebody that is being recruited right now by Syracuse as a junior. What a talent. So on a team that has Seven McGee, and Seven McGee played today, but you could tell he was playing hurt. So certainly for Canandaigua, everybody watching next week, East is going to come in here thinking we can shock the world, certainly.
Ross Simmons is an absolute freak. I mean, that play looks like, unbelievable, but honestly, not surprised at all. He's made plays like that his entire career, all season. He's just a dynamic, big, physical, fast athlete.
3rd and 11 after the Spencerport timeout. And Camella will run ahead, and Spencerport will burn their last timeout. 3:58 remaining.
Coach Welch is looking for that late hit. It looked like they came down a little bit on him after he was down.
Spencerport calling the timeout. We'll take a quick break here. This is the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We want to thank everyone for doing their part in these challenging times.
No matter where we work from, we're still here protecting you and your family's rights.
We want you to know that we will always be here for you and your family.
Using our technology so we can protect you and your family no matter where we are.
For your free consultation, call or text 262-COMP today.
Your workers' comp attorneys.
I don't think I've ever been involved in a high school game that had the opportunity to be done in 2 hours. We're looking at that, Steve.
Was it our first game? I think week 1 against Wilson. Our game was done in under 2 hours. I was like, wait a minute.
Okay.
I was like, is it over already?
Canandaigua will punt this away here on 4th down. Spencerport is out of timeouts. First punt tonight for Canandaigua. Going to the near side. Flag coming down. And that will take a great roll down to about the 5. What is the flag, though?
A Canandaigua player had its helmet knocked off, so I'm wondering if it's something related to that. It kind of looks like it is.
Personal foul against Spencerport for the face mask.
Personal foul, face mask on the Rangers.
And this is where down the stretch it has gotten a little bit chippy. You're hoping the officials are trying to take control of it right now, because the last thing you'd want to see is anybody kind of get hurt, and especially for Canandaigua not be available for next week.
Personal foul on the face mask. So that will not change the possession. Or will it? I'm confused now. Now, they will move the markers down to the 5-yard line. So Spencerport indeed will take over on offense. Out of timeouts, 3:50 remaining, and Canandaigua leading by 17.
Ball's now spotted at the Rangers 4-yard line. First and 10 for the Rangers.
Quarterback Cameron Mesh out of the shotgun snap here in a Wildcat from his own end zone is going to be throwing. And in and out of the hands, he was looking for Zimmerman on the far side. And a little bit out of the Spencerport comfort zone here, if you will.
Yeah, and even though it doesn't look like, there's going to be enough time for them to mount a comeback, I mean, hats off to Spencerport. I really feel like the last 2 years they've taken that next step. Their offense has always been impossible to prepare for, but I think really, I know Canandaigua is just a juggernaut right now, but Spencerport's got a defense now and a system that I think works really well for them, and I expect to see them back in contention again next season.
Yeah, and then next season, it's not that far off.
No, it is not.
Like what, 3 months, that's it? And we'll be back getting ready as tackle from behind. Zach Dreisbach.
He's been making plays all night. I think that's been a big key to them slowing them down. Those defensive ends have to dominate with all the kick-out runs that they like to do, and they've been doing it all night.
Third down and 9. Mesh. Handing it off to Beeman. And not much room for Beeman on the far side. There's Dreisbach again in on the tackle.
You saw it right there. Again, they tried it. That's a big part of what they want to do. They want to search out the matchups with the defensive ends, and Dreisbach's just having none of it tonight.
Fourth down. And Spencerport will huddle up here. 4th and 8 from their own 7. Mesh looking to throw. Mesh under pressure. Mesh is going to go down for the safety, though the ball's going to squirt free. No, they're going to call him for the safety. He is going to be down. And that was going to put the exclamation point on that. Canandaigua coming up with the safety, 29-10 now our score.
Hats off to Canandaigua. Spencerport had that early drive. Then Canandaigua went down the field and had the turnover, but credit to them, they don't panic. They're just such a disciplined, good football program that they just settled in, and ever since then they've just dominated this football game.
Eric Platten, number 4. We'll give him part of the safety on that, certainly. And 2:09 remaining. Yeah. Likely we will just kind of take some knees here.
I just got to say, how awesome is this that this game's happening? We're going to the finals. They're going to be playing in the finals next week. A couple months ago, I'll be honest, I didn't know if we were even going to get to play. It's been agony this last year, but for these kids to be able to have this opportunity, for all of Section 5 to be able to play football, just very, very blessed and thankful.
Yeah, for our Spencerport viewers that are hanging on to the end, just keep that in perspective here. Let's just all be happy that we had this opportunity. What a kick, as Camella is going to have to race back, and he's just going to simply fall on it. So I don't think that was the intent for Spencerport, as they just kind of squirted free. 2:08 remaining here this evening. And for Canandaigua, the question is, do they just kind of run a few plays, or like at what point do they go to the victory formation?
I would imagine at this point, right, anytime you run a play, there is a risk of injury. There's no reason to get anybody unnecessarily impacted or hurt at this point. Just nail it out and get ready for next week.
So two contrasting styles there, the physical play at Canandaigua, and you have game breakers and home run hitters on East High. How do you think that game's going to play out there, Coach?
You know what, I think Canandaigua's going to do a lot of the same they did tonight. They're going to run the football, control the clock. You know, they kind of took Spencerport's recipe, use it against them. I think that's the key to East. You don't want to give them extra possessions. You don't want to give those athletes extra shots to make big plays. So if you're Canandaigua and you feel good about the way you're running the football, and they have been all season, just go into it thinking you're going to try to run inside, dominate the clock, and get Camella going.
For Spencerport, again, kind of like last year, where they did have the one win, but they got to the semifinal, could not cross over into the final. And there will be better days ahead knowing what's behind in this program for the Rangers.
Yeah, and I think it's unfair to judge about sectional wins, especially in this year, because the way this format has been with only 6 games and only 4 out of 16 teams making it, it's been like a playoff every single week. So for Spencerport to have that undefeated run and make it here, really like in any other year, it's almost like going to the finals. So hats off to them for a tremendous season.
It's crazy. If Gates Chile doesn't get that last touchdown, what we were told, Canandaigua would have been the 1 seed and not Irondequoit, just based on all the formulas and everything. I need my abacus to figure this out here, But it ended up, you normally wouldn't get this matchup here in the semifinal, 2 undefeated teams.
Yeah, I think in theory the whole strength of schedule and the points is a great thing. I think it's a positive thing that we've added to Class A and to Section 5. But when you got into this shortened 6-game season, it became just very difficult to figure out.
That's going to do it here, as there won't be enough time to run another play. Canandaigua, the Braves, tonight, after being down 7-0 early in this game, 29-3 thereafter, they outscore Spencerport. Just a great win here tonight for Canandaigua, as the Braves will host the Class A championship game coming up on Friday night against East. And congratulations to Spencerport on a fine season. They'll end with a 6-1 record. Steve Lynn, your final thoughts here tonight here from Brave Stadium.
It's been great. 2 physical football teams coming in here. No one's trying to do anything fancy. I love seeing football like that, and it's just been a pleasure to watch.
Want to thank you for tuning in here tonight, and reminder that tomorrow we will have both of the Class AA semifinals tomorrow. Plenty to watch and view. And for Canandaigua fans, again, if you're not able to come on out on Friday night, we will have this for you live on Varsity Media coming up Friday night, East and Canandaigua. Coach, great job, man. You got a second career here if you ever want, or for you a third career if you want it.
Thank you, man. This has been a blast.
For Stephen Leon tonight, and for our buddy Joel Balthaser and everybody involved at Varsity Media, my name is Gene Battaglia. We're once again our final score tonight, Canandaigua with the win over Spencerport, 29-10. You've been watching the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We want to thank everyone for doing their part in these challenging times.
No matter where we work from, we're still here protecting you and your family's rights.
We want you to know that we will always be here for you and your family.
Using our technology so we can protect you and your family no matter where we are.
For your free consultation, call or text 262-COMP today.
Your workers' comp attorneys.
Looking for a great way to commemorate this season's sectionals? Section 5 Athletics is excited to work with Mugs & More to offer a variety of apparel options for each sport and each season. Items include graphics specifically developed to feature the sport and year, including items such as hoodies, hats, pants, and more. Apparel for each season is available for a limited time, so don't miss your chance. Visit section5.org/mugsandmore to see the many options and place your order today.